Hi everyone, this is Ashwin with close to 14 years of experience in catastrophe modeling, insurance and reinsurance analytics. Until now, we have discussed varied topics ranging from Bermuda and Lloyd's insurance market to tax havens, from traditional reinsurance contracts to pricing and the financial statements. Today, we will touch base on insurer reserves. Touch base because it is highly actuarial specialized topic. We will learn what are reserves, its types, and also its importance. We will consider an insurer's balance sheet as an example to spot the reserves and identify its components. And towards the end, we will look at the advantages. I'm creating this tutorial video for this topic as it acts as a bridge for the upcoming tutorial topics. So, what are insurer reserves? Reserves are the funds that insurers set aside to pay future claims. They are critical in ensuring that the insurers meet obligations to the policyholders. So, what are the types of reserves? So, reserves are two types. One is case reserves, and other is incurred but not reported IBNR reserves. So, what are case reserves? They are the reported claims and estimates of unpaid claim liability for specific claims established by the claim administrators and on a claim by claim basis. But whereas IBNR, they are the portion not covered by case reserves. They are estimated by actuaries and calculated in aggregate and not related to any specific claim. So the total loss reserves will be the sum of case reserves plus the IBNR. So the actuaries use the below methods to develop the reserves. So there are four methods that actuaries use. So as I told before, our focus in this PPT will be towards understanding and spotting the reserves in the financial statements. So let's look at an example. Palomar is a reputed and profitable insurance company, and here is the balance sheet as at December 31st, 2023. As you can notice, we have highlighted in green, which is the reserves, and the data is in thousands. So we have reserves of about 342.275 millions, and it is under the liability section because these are the loss estimates that are to be paid out. Let's understand how did we arrive at this reserves value of 342.275 million. So when I went through the 2023 annual report, so I found few sections that contribute to the reserves, and this is one such section. So the losses and loss adjustment expenses consist of the below elements. One is catastrophe loss and other is non-catastrophe loss. So the two combined, we have value of 72,592. That is in thousands in December 2023. So moving on, so if you notice this section, so this is about compilation of the reserves, adding each of the individual components, after which we arrive at the total value of 342.275. So let's look at this section in greater detail. Reserves net of reinsurance recoverables at the start of 2023 is 77,520. We notice that incurred losses and loss adjustment expenses net of reinsurance is 72,592. Payments made for losses and loss adjustment expenses net of reinsurance is 52,459. And reserves at the end of period net of reinsurance recoverables will be 97,653. So that adding the top two and then subtracting the payments made will give us the resultant, which is 97,653. Notice that all the above is net of reinsurance. Now add the reinsurance recoverables, which is 244,622, and that will give us the total reserves as 342,275. So the reserves at the start of the year plus the incurred losses minus the payments made and adding the reinsurance recoverables will give us the final reserves. Now let's look at the bifurcation of the reserves value of 342.275 million. So the case reserves is about 36%, while IBNR reserves is about 64%. This number is obtained actually based on the actuarial methods, which we have seen in the previous slides. There are about four actuarial methods, and based on that, this reserves value is derived. Now that we know the components of reserves, spotting of reserves in the annual reports, let's understand the reserves in the context of policyholder surplus. The ratio of reserves to the policyholder surplus indicates the risk each dollar of surplus supports. It is expressed as a percentage. So the higher the ratio, the more reliant the insurer is on policyholder surplus to cover its potential liabilities. As an example, for insurer Palomar, the policyholder surplus is about 471.2 millions, and the reserve is about 342.2 millions. Hence, the ratio is about 72.6%. As per the NIC, it considers a ratio of less than 200% to be acceptable. Let's look at advantages of having insurance reserves. So there are about six enlisted here: financial stability, policyholder protection, regulatory compliance, competitive advantage, investment opportunities, and risk management. So since it's a show of financial stability, as the insurers can handle large volume of claims, it results in financial stability. The primary purpose of insurance is to provide protection to the policyholders, and having reserves set aside exemplifies it. Insurers are required by law to maintain reserves to ensure solvency, so that results in regulatory compliance. Companies with strong reserves are viewed more favorably by consumers and investors, and hence it results in a competitive advantage. Reserves can be invested in low risk funds and thereby increasing the overall profitability. And as part of risk management, reserves help in mitigating financial impact of large and unexpected claims. So these are the advantages of having insurance reserves, and this marks the end of the PPT. Please let me know if you have any further questions.